So hello everyone and welcome to this week's RigER webinar. Today we're going to talk about Oilfield Services ERP Implementation, RigER plus Business Central. We'll talk about how you can improve command and control of your business with an integrated solution of RigER plus ERP. Create field tickets, invoices, receive payments, enjoy real-time reports that track time, utilization, job profit, and more. Empower employees to capture and share operational data in real time, increase collaboration, improve visibility, and increase productivity across the whole organization, all with an integrated ecosystem for energy services and equipment rentals companies. As you can see, today we'll be talking about Oilfield Services software and ERP implementation. We'll discuss integration process and share best practices. At the end of the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask us any question that you may have during the presentation. You can see the Q&A icon on your Zoom control panel as well. Please type all your questions there and we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. And now let's get started. I want to pass the microphone to Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dasha. Let's move forward. Today we have a guest speaker, and I will talk about RigER and ERP integration. So, starting from the oilfield service software itself, there are so many different applications which you can use in the oilfield service companies. Covering accounting, oilfield operations, safety, enterprise asset management, CRM, business analytics, and ERP. And tell you the truth that now we start receiving lots of requests from our clients about ERP, and today we have some good presentation about ERP. So talking about different functions and functional modules covered by RigER and by ERP, we can see that mostly our clients use RigER for the oilfield operations, and some of the modules have dual applications, and ERP traditionally has the finance accounting focus. And to make it more useful, in some cases, we implement RigER and ERP, and running together. Those two applications require synchronization. But first of all, let me introduce our partner, the company named Dynamics Core Partners, and Sharon Leggatt, which is she's a partner and a senior manager. Sharon is a business senior leader with significant experience in client service professionals. And Sharon will share some ideas about ERP, why the companies need ERP, and yeah, so please welcome Sharon.
Hello, everybody. Glad you could join us. As mentioned, I've got a fair bit of experience in accounting, finance, and implementing ERPs, and also front-end systems. So we're Dynamics Core Partners. We have a fairly good team of people that have implemented. They're business analysts. They have been controllers, so lots of experience in finance and accounting, also within the operational side of a business. Why implement an ERP? Well, we can implement best practices for managing your business. We're very good at discussing your current state with you and where you want to go in terms of growing your business. We break down barriers and can create transparency among your teams. And this allows for lots of knowledge sharing within your team, because within an ERP, you can see POs, you can see sales orders, you can see journal entries, different things like that. Now, of course, we've got to remember that there is security within, so we have to design the security, but there is definitely knowledge sharing and transparency. We can automate your manual processes or re-engineer current processes with workflows, and we're very big on creating standard, repeatable, scalable process. Why that's important is we want everyone using the ERP to follow the same process. We want good data. We want use of entering a sales order or a quote or entering journal entries done the same way, because what this allows for is accurate reporting. What I've seen over the years is people that don't follow the process, that creates a clink, and reporting is not always accurate. So if we get everyone doing the right thing with automation, they're very efficient, and reporting is clean, concise, and timely. We look at internal system controls through posting controls, control over how master data is entered, and the maintenance thereof. So in terms of entering that master data, we want someone entering, say, vendors and customers that are separate. We don't want anyone that might be doing AP entering customer information. You can imagine why we're very concerned about those things. And then, you know, if there's certain ways you have to enter master data, like, for example, a customer, a naming convention. What happens if is the naming convention to enter customer information, et cetera, is always consistent and concise. Again, for reporting purposes, you have to have the data correct. Financial reporting, there's great business intelligence, dashboards, consolidations, multi-currency, and just about any currency you can name if you have a need for that. We're also very keen on the fact that we void transactions. They're not just deleted and then control numbers are being reused. It's very important that for auditability, transactions get voided and they're marked as voided in the system. Why Business Central? We really like the Microsoft ecosystem. You connect teams with a single solution. So Office 365, Dynamics 365, SharePoint, Teams, OneDrive, there's Power BI tools. All of this creates for transparency again, which is key within your business at all levels of stakeholders, users, etc. Because Outlook is integrated with 365, which we're going to discuss later in a business case, it allows users to actually use Outlook to do things like create a sales quote or a sales order. There's very good AI in Business Central, which helps speed up the process of creating a order or a quote or a sales invoice from within Outlook. And we will talk about that later. You can reduce infrastructure costs by eliminating the maintenance of servers. That's very important. You don't really want to have to carry on continually upgrading your servers, maintaining your servers. Everything is in the cloud, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have business in the cloud for a number of reasons. There's mobile versions, very important for companies with, say, people on the road. I've worked with many clients where various teams are always out and about, especially in oil field services. You've got general managers and vice presidents out making sure things are going well for their whole entire team. And they want to be able to approve maybe a purchase order, or they might want to do a sales order. So business in the cloud makes it really easy for flexible working arrangements. It helps you grow your business because of the functionality within that system. You can go from manufacturing to bill of materials. You've got deep accounting knowledge and capabilities and functionality. There's lots of integrations you can use to import data for, say, a bank rec from your bank. Lots of the banks offer a portal where you can export data and import it into your system. There's things like importing foreign exchange currency rates on a daily basis if you have a requirement for that. It just helps you grow and grow. So profitability is there and the ability to become more profitable. Data security is very important. There is all kinds of encryption with Microsoft. Your data is maintained within their ecosystem, and it's very secure. It's automatic security. And they work very hard to ensure that. Why implement an ERP? So I'm kind of breaking it down to why Business Central Financial. Well, to grow your business and to make sure you're making the right business decisions, it's current data, real-time data. So if you're integrating information from, say, RigER, that's real-time information. You can create dashboards to give you real-time information. All of that is critical to getting your business to grow and to make those decisions. Again, we've got that lockdown master data. People are doing the right things. They're becoming more efficient with automation. Those are very, very key things for all of this. It's underlying what we're going to talk about here. Intelligent cloud insights. There's KPIs for cash availability, sales profitability, net income, inventory evaluation, costing of your inventory. It's all there for you with great KPIs or dashboards. Great for financial consolidations if you are in that situation or you're going to grow your business and you have to consolidate. There's clients out there who are, have joint venture partnerships, you name it, various types of business practices, and the consolidations are made easy. Unlimited entries, there's all the currencies available. There's dimensions within your chart of accounts. Those are really important. You can post to different dimensions by salesperson, department, any type of reporting requirement. So what we're after here is the ability to get information at the tips of your fingers. Again, I repeat this, it's important. Numerous currencies, seamless transactions. You can revalue accounts and transactions in MultiCurrency at month end for unrealized gains and losses. Seamless integrations available, which I mentioned earlier, for daily currency exchange rates. You can link to your bank and export data for bank recs. Or, for example, I've also done integrations for customers for credit cards, and it imports through Business Central all of your AP invoices. Very efficient, very effective, saves a lot of time. Talk about control accounts, APAR. They can be blocked from manually posting. They should be defaults. No one should be posting to control accounts. And Business Central lets us take care of that for you. For sales, as I mentioned earlier, this integrated tool between Outlook and Business Central, you've got sales quotes going through Outlook. You've got sales orders for shipping parts of any quantity with specific delivery and payment options. Sales processes can be managed through workflows. Workflows are huge, right? That speaks to transparency. The right people are approving them as we go through that process. We can design workflows according to your organization's authority matrix. If you don't have one, we can help you design one. Very, very important to make sure the right people are seeing the data and approving whatever transaction is flowing through your business. We can create sales documents such as sales orders, quotes. They can be sent immediately as PDF files attached to an email out of Business Central. Again, very seamless, very effective and efficient. There's flexible pricing and discounting for customers. You can discount at the sales invoice. You can discount at the item level. There's price groups, price lists, all kinds of flexibility available for you to move your business along. A supply chain, on-demand access to data for planning purposes. If you've got an inventory count completed and your quantities are current, we can make sure that you have that data. Again, starts as master data in your system, and it can go through with sales forecasting, and then get to the on-demand access to data for planning. You can predict stock replenishment, and there's a level of plus or minus. Very effective, very efficient. That's what we're always going for. You can create purchase orders based on predicted stock levels and, again, sales forecasts. Control spend with purchase order workflows. Again, you have to make sure that people aren't off spending around budgets. Pretty important, right? That's why they're there. You want to control spend. We don't want people, if you're a global company, going out and buying outside of what's been approved within their budget. Again, transparency within this system is huge, and having workflows. Moving on, we have our DCP implementation process. What's really important is we can provide you with consistently throughout your implementation advisory. So we can advise you on accounting, finance, operations. We're very big on ensuring that you have standard, repeatable, scalable, which is important, processes. We can re-engineer. We're there to help you every step of the way with continuous improvement. Our first step, we like to go through and do defined business requirements. That is very important, that we understand your business as well as, if not better than you. We need to understand your current state. We get involved with your users, discuss with them what they've been doing in the current system. If you're not in a system of any type, hey, we can look at your manual process. That's all very important. You go by your business function, AR, AP, if there's contracts involved and pricing, get to know everything you do to assist you in this process through every step of your journey. Teamwork. After we've gone through and documented thoroughly this current state and your requirements, we look for opportunities, gaps, risks. Risks are huge. That's important to help you figure that out. You may know your gaps. That's, you know your business very well, but we can help you walk through that and get things moving. We have very good project managers. We have a project plan with timeline, resources, tasks, and we talk about resources within your organization as well and your timelines, because this is teamwork. We're not doing anything outside of what you're doing. We would review any solutions with you and designs and the project plan. Everyone has to be ad idem as to next steps and how we want to move forward with the timelines. And maybe, it could be very intimidating for your team. We can phase in things we want to do with you as a team in terms of implementing certain functionality. Certainly there's core functionality that you want to implement. We always say it's very important that you get used to your new system first, doing core. Add in bells and whistles and get fancy a little bit later down the road. We have system configuration, including your user security, which is role-based. Very, very important. I've seen organizations where it's kind of loose and they don't have role-based, and people have access to enter transactions they ought not to be. So very, very important that we work together to do this system configuration. We have your master data. So if you've got a customer list, a vendor list, items, pricing, we would help you get that cleaned up and import it to the ERP. That's very easy to do. We can even teach you how to do that, but we need to get that rolling. And again, every step of the way, we can offer you operational advisory, finance, process. We then move on to planning for a UAT and how we're going to roll out this implementation. We have training plans and materials, and that's very, very important in terms of your change management. Change management, people don't like change. It's important that We try to help you identify a change agent, which is, very positive about this move and understands, the end game here and how important this will be in terms of scaling your business and growing and profitability. Very, very important. Then we assist you through the go live and we offer client support. And again, this business of advisory is continual and we're there for you every step of the way through your journey. It's not just start with requirements, configure, say, here's your product and test. We're here to do teamwork. The value add of the DCP implementation team, as I mentioned before, there's lots of good reasons, but we quickly can understand and document your current state. We synthesize very fast, define your business requirements, identify gaps, risks, opportunities in each business function according to your process owners. Very, very key. We speak to the process owner, that we speak to people in the business. That way we get real-time information about what they do. Maybe they have roadblocks that no one knows about. Very, very important. What's good is internally for us, we use standard repeatable process as well. So the way we gather your business requirements is always done the same way. We go through various questions with you. Lots of that could be not applicable, but we don't want to make any mistakes and miss a step. So important for you that we get this right. We can identify root causes for problems, such as why you always have disputed customer invoices. We can propose a solution for that. Often what I've seen is pricing is a problem, or there's not transparency as to where the invoice should be sent, which portal they might have to upload it to. But definitely, we're very good at helping with that root cause analysis. We're always looking at risk for every process or owner during the implementation. We have project managers to ensure projects are on time, on budget. We help you with the change management and that knowledge transfer. So what we've done before in the past is helped create change management notices. Really important to document what systems are being effective, which users are being impacted, what they're currently doing, the proposed change, and the benefit. Benefit is huge for buy-in with all of your team. So change management, can't get away from it. Knowledge transfer, we can help you even use SharePoint for, certain things like documentation. I've included AFEs with customers. So you've got a standard AFE. People download it from SharePoint. It's important. It goes into a workflow within your system. I'll stop there. There's lots to talk about. Again, the advisory services throughout the implementation, finance, accounting, operations. We've got former corporate controllers, operational controllers, senior BAs, senior reporting and BI specialists, accounts receivable and payable specialists. We recommend best practice solutions. Again, really important that people are following standard, repeatable, scalable process. Key, right? Rote learning, it's you can't lose if people are doing the same thing all of the time. We can give you an internal control review and revisions as necessary. We also have access to Microsoft support engineers and their knowledge base. So if there's something that's amiss and we're not very clear on what that is, because it could be something out of our control within Business Central, we have immediate access to Microsoft, and that is very, very key. Our goal, ensure your organization is effective. We want you doing the right things, the right process, following it to the key of step by step. Efficient, we make you efficient by having it automated and always continuous process improvements. If you're not improving, you won't grow properly. Your business won't grow and you won't see the potential profits. So I've got a bit of a business case here. with a customer that's in oil field services and with downstream projects. So I'm not going to hit on everything we implemented for them and assisted in terms of providing solutions within Business Central, but they had a problem where they had several business units globally, fairly big global company. But what was happening was controllers and the finance team were not following a credit application review process. There was no adjudication, which to us and the client was very risky. And it was a great opportunity to get in there and create a process with this solution. So what we did was we designed with the global credit manager, using their different business scenarios for the different business units, which could be in Africa or Dubai, where there's different cultural norms or regulations, but we made sure we understood what that was. We spoke with each of the business units leads and documented that. We went on then to create a global credit application. That was really, really important because we wanted everyone to follow this process that was designed by the global credit leadership at head office, bearing in mind all of that cultural and different regulations within the different countries the business units operate. What we found then was because we had a repeatable process, the credit manager could then coach and mentor the teams on going through this process. So important that someone owned it and was transparent with their teams. So from the onset, if there was the RFP process, the credit manager was involved. He knew what might be coming. Besides, the fact that we've got a project and this is the customer, he could go through and depending on where the project is located, go through and do a high level credit review, right? Very easy to do this. Once the job's awarded, then we go through and we created welcome letter templates and emailed the customer, just confirming information that was gathered during the RFP process, contact information, the credit application contents, preferred method to receive invoices, company standard terms that we had, just confirming from the onset what we both agreed to and what was going to happen moving forward. Very, very important that everyone's transparent with each other. We also then kicked off the customer creation process in Business Central. Credit limits, credit limit warnings, hold functionality. Very, very important that that is there because what's happened in the past is companies can go through and continue having that sales process and customers are well past their credit limit. It's okay if that occurs, but the warnings are critical so you know what's happening. And the team can then go and maybe speak to the customer, see what's happening. There's lots of dashboard information in Business Central that gives you that information at a glance. There's also very good reporting, but the dashboards are key. And so are those warnings. The value of this, a global process ensured all business units were working transparently with the credit office. Again, I sound like a broken record, but it's very important we have standard repeatable steps and processes approved by the organization's executive team. We've got experienced consultant advisors to collaborate with the team when designing process based on years of experience, providing meaningful results throughout your journey. Again, working together every step of the way with you. We work closely with the office of the CFO, controllers, vice presidents, and they are included in the project management process. Again, we assist the customer here with their change management. We help them select a change agent. We help them design their change notices. So everyone was very clear on what was coming and how the process was going to be rolled out. And again, why it benefits everybody within the organization, because they have to work as one. Other thing here, they had non-existent collection processes, which was also a risk and an opportunity. There's various add-in software with Business Central, and we chose Collect 365 for Dynamics in this case. We designed a global collection process with the collection manager, such as customer statements. We had collection letters implemented in Business Central, initial inquiry letters as to, this is outstanding. What is the problem? Reminder notices, final demand letters. All templates were integrated within Business Central and part of their collection process. There's also collection tasks that would work for the collection agents. And that's also designed through security in the system. So you might have a junior oil and gas company or an international one. It just depends who you want collecting for that. And that's all set up in the system. Very, very important to have this documented correctly with the solution so we can get it right for you and you can move forward and have the right people doing the right things in this collection process. Again, it's a global collection process. And we documented the whole process from beginning to end first, and then took that process solution and implemented it. The value here ensured all collectors were following the standard repeatable steps processes. Templates are there, which have been set up in advance and signed off by the office of the CFO. And that was really important. So when people are following this process, the finance leadership knows what they're sending out, how they're approaching this process, and everyone is comfortable with the process. Again, they had a DCP business advisor to collaborate with the team. We spent a lot of time on this, especially documenting the process, because that was very, very important. And that's just a quick example of the global collection process and all of the steps along the way. Escalation points, what happens when you get cash up front. I won't go into detail because that is a lot of detail, but we can show you the benefit and how we can add value doing this with different teams in your organization. Another issue addressed here was the company wanted to grow in various countries such as Italy, Africa, Australia. It was critical that they had the multi-currency, so transactions were correct. They had the correct exchange rates, and that functionality did not exist within the current system. Business Central provides functionality for numerous global currencies, pretty much any currency you can think of. All of the transactions, once we implemented multi-currency, were processed seamlessly with current exchange rates. You can connect with numerous exchange rate services for those rates. It can be scheduled. You can get average rates, spot. There's a whole variety of ways to manage all of this, and we're here to help you understand all of that. We know it can be pretty daunting, so yes, we've done this before with various global companies, and it's wonderful to have this at your fingertips, especially seamlessly importing that data every day if that's what is required. One of the value adds in this case, we suggested they implement the revaluation process. Very, very important at month end to identify and accrue the unrealized gains and losses for balance sheet accounts and transactions. Then you have an idea of what's going on with that particular currency and how the exchange rates are treating you at a point in time. In this case, we trained all of the global controllers to run revaluation properly as part of their month-end package and reported back to the global corporate finance controller. And as I say, we imported daily exchange rates for them to keep the day-to-day transactions current. And that's just an example of Business Central. Very, very easy to implement this. You have to know the URL. You have to know where you're going to draw that exchange rate from, but it's all fairly simple. And as I said before, you can schedule this. So very, very easy and very, very helpful with running your business. Also, sales quotes and orders for teams on the go. That was really important for this customer. The current system could not accommodate the creation of sales quotes and orders for people out and about. What they had was a lot of people out trying to sell, trying to take care of clients, you name it, and traveling globally. The solution was, because Business Central is fully integrated with Office 365, they could create quotes, process orders, and submit invoices all at your fingertip in Outlook. It's also very cool if you get an email as a salesperson from a customer and they know what they want to order from you and they've got it in the email. When you go into Business Central, there's this incredible AI. It can actually find the customer or suggest which customer this is. You can select it. It'll also go into the items and identify the items that the person wants to purchase. It's very, very efficient and effective functionality. Very, very nice. It'll also give you a dashboard on that customer, balance owings, past due amounts. So you can make smart business decisions right there. You can also look at existing orders or quotes. I can't imagine life without this. If I was running a company, I would be really happy with this functionality. And that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Sharon. Was great presentation. I see that that global collection process is very close what we do for operations. So just remind me this, and kind of it's very so when we compare the RigER implementation and ERP implementation, there are lots of common things, common approaches, because again, we're talking about RigER and ERP, and I know that there are lots of questions will grow, but let me finish one portion of our presentation, and then we will come to the Q&A session. So the next topic is RigER and ERP. And we have several integrations with ERP systems, and Microsoft Dynamics is one of them. RigER right now has different integrations, and some integrations coming. So let me show you the schematic approach. What we usually connect between two systems. Of course, the master data of employees and contractors, the equipment, service, inventory, billable items, the business partners like vendors, contractors, customers could be integrated, and all additional data, which could be a corporate structure, departments, yards, locations, all other places, so could be integrated between two systems. And again, in many cases, we consider RigER as the entry point, and then to avoid any double entry, any quadruple entry, we integrate this with the different modules of RigER, different modules with Microsoft Dynamics. For example, our purchases, when we do the PO, BOL, PI, we can send this information to the accounts receivable. However, as Sharon mentioned, that it's not, it could be very individual for every single case and very single organization. So some organizations prefer to have all the PO approvals within the Business Central, and some of the purchase orders, specific purchase orders in RigER. So every single time when we sit down, we figure out what will be the best way for this and that operations. Another thing which we connect is asset management, and connect fixed assets. So just imagine that some of the rental fleet could be a very, very complex items and building those items and generating the new, creating new fixed assets could be available information for the accounting transactions. Billing and invoicing, of course, the revenue recognitions goes to the accounts payable strictly to the Business Central, and of course, the expense claims, all the inventory transactions will give us lots of different transactions about expenses, and those transactions could be exported to the general ledger, and records could be done as general entry, or it could be generated as a documents. And of course, time tracking hours and rates, pre-payroll report can be exported to the accounting systems, and Business Central payroll can be run there. So, and of course, there are several modules in RigER which is not connected to the ERP, and several modules in ERP which is not connected to RigER. But of course, the ERP task mostly for the financial purposes, budgeting, financial reporting, financial planning, and other modules associated with accounting, general management, and control. And the control is a number one function for ERP. RigER mostly focuses on the operations, and we're talking about field mobile operations, safety, job management, dispatching, project management, sales, CRM, fleet management, manufacturing, and business analytics associated with the operations. If we talk about some of the integration points and examples, say, for example, when we talk about sales, we can be dual exchange the clients, and more. In many cases, we enter clients in ERP first, or enter clients in RigER, then synchronize with ERP, approve in ERP, and then those clients appear in RigER as approved clients. So depending on due diligence process in every single organization, we can change this in a little bit. Locations, job invoices are generated in RigER, and it's easy to send them to ERP. Purchases, same thing with vendors, POs, I mentioned, the invoices. Payroll, the employee information, and hours collected from different documents like maintenance cards, repairs, tickets, rental tickets, field tickets. Those hours collected and sent to the ERP for payroll. The inventory could be a very key, because in some cases organizations can run a multi business lines, and one of the business lines, I can give you an example, this particular case, one of the business lines is manufacturing, another is rental, and the company use more inventory for manufacturing and a portion for the rental fleet repairs. And in this case, we have all the master inventory list synchronized between two systems. However, the entire information about inventory located in ERP. So how this working? When we generate a peak ticket in RigER, the managers put this peak ticket as a request from RigER to ERP. Then everything goes to the ERP. Put values because RigER has only quantities. ERP put the values of each particular line, and then send back fully completed peak ticket. So in this case, this transaction could be maybe a minute, maybe a two, and this speed up the entire process. So the clients are very, very happy about that. And definitely RigER complements ERP well. So first of all, most of our clients use mobile field operations and specific designed mobile applications, which extend the ability of the field personnel and seamlessly integrate Oilfield and Office. Another big module, the enterprise asset management, when we talk about all the enterprise tracking movements, as equipment repairs, rework, inspections, maintenance. This is a big thing. The inventory tracking is another way how RigER can help with ERP. The quality management, showing different approaches and different documents and check lists for quality and safety. The employee time tracking, the big thing, and overall RigER increase productivity and efficiency. And one of the thing which we can show the exchange event dashboard, showing us what is the export import between RigER and BC, how it works, and every single transaction, as you see here, every single invoice checked, and we check the integrity between RigER and BC and how those every single transaction appear in RigER and appear in BC. So the integration projects results, usually it's a faster data exchange, the year notification system. If we have any issues, any errors, we can notify the user, and they can fix this faster. Data validation, we know what kind of data we exchange, why, and when. Data exchange monitoring and control. Streamlining business processes, scalable system for high volume transactions. This is very important because when the company is growing, it's just booming the number of transactions, and we're talking about not 5 to 10 transactions per day. In some cases, it could be 5 to 10 transactions per minute, and it's just an enormous amount of data moving back and forth between RigER and Business Central. So, and of course, we identifying for each client what could be a future steps with the integrations and how we can improve processes in the future. That's probably everything for today. Thank you so much for being with us, and we are ready to your questions. First of all, I like to thank the Sharon and ask a couple of questions about ERP implementations. And first, the most popular question from our clients: what is the best time to implement ERP? I know it's tricky, but what is your opinion?
Well, one thing we do know is people can start the implementation process anytime. What we don't want to do is interfere with a quarter end or a year end, because you'll find the finance team is focused on other things, especially for, let's just say, a public company, right? Because there's lots of due diligence required by quarter ends, not as much by month ends, but quarter ends and year ends. So the go live date is really, really important for them. So we try to work around those key dates for go live, but we can start implementing with them, and have the roadmap and the project plan, and they can agree to that. So everyone is on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember my accounting time. So quarterly and annual reports and again, you need to be prepared for the audit as well. It's not just it's a year end. You're just going through all the small details, and it's time consuming, of course. And what size of organization should consider ERP? Because again, we work with small organizations, mid-sized organizations, of course, big one. But how big the organization should be to have an effect and see the effect from the ERP implementation?
Well, in terms of a larger organization, that business case I was speaking of, they're global. They have business units all over the world, and I can't really divulge their revenue, but they're significant in size and a lot of moving parts, because they've got, let's just say, a finance team basically in 4 strategically located areas globally. And we've got to make sure everyone's moving in the same direction. So a large company no problem. It's quite scalable, but certainly very, very good for small, mid-sized companies to step into an ERP.
So what do you think, like in terms of number of people, number of transactions, volume? So
I don't see that as a problem. My business case, I think they had about 20 users. Again, now when you're global, right? What I found was supporting them was fun because they're up at different hours of the day, right? So they're not running over each other in the system, but they had upwards of 20 users, people in Africa, people in Dubai, people in the States. That was never an issue. And transactions, very busy, certainly very busy when they started to grow and make a focus on growth. Because they had a lot of operations globally and projects, right? A lot of different projects in different countries.
So we spoke about lots of different things today, and what do you think that the three main things you can share with the companies who choosing ERP now?
The main goals of implementing an ERP. I like to focus on the transparency. I think it's important that everyone's in the same system. I like the fact that we can helpfully make a company effective, get everyone doing the right things based on that requirements definition and addressing their risks and opportunities and ensuring that they're efficient, automating processes, approvals through workflows, different things like that. If Business Central doesn't give you functionality that you need for who knows what reason, you could have something very unique going on in your company, just like the business case. Let's go look for an add-on piece of software that will allow you to do all of these things seamlessly. Everything's very seamless. So plus, you know, working with a group of people who have a lot of experience in finance and accounting and operations, we can help guide you through this process, because I know it can be very daunting for people. And often we report into the office of the CFO and work closely with that team. Just depends on the company though, right?
Yeah. And this very, very resonate with our experience with the RigER implementations when we see that aligning all the departments together and providing them one source of truth give a huge boost for the organization, because in many cases what we see, some of the people from sales, they use one even name of the of the services. Now the operations use different names, and accountants really confuse what needs to be invoiced.
Yes, and what's great is finance gets more involved often with this, right? At least when we've implemented, finance gets more involved, right? And breaking down that barrier between ops and finance.
Yeah. This is huge, because again, in many cases, from my experience, I saw that operations and sales, they focusing on what they providing their results, and the end results come to the accountant when they try to generate invoices, and they need to re-enter all information once again, and it's very, very time consuming. So when we see that we can bring together the entire team, and everyone will add their portion, then the process become streamlined, transparent, and very, very efficient.
And those silos between departments are reduced, which is so key, right? We've got to have companies working as one and learning to work as one and embracing the implementation and the change and the expectation that they can grow their business working together.
Side effect of the implementation, you just like sit down with them in the one room and ask the question and listen. and they start communicate with each other. They explain their position. They trying to understand why they do things in that way, because in many cases they just too busy to see what's happening around.
Yes, and one great thing is I've always done it this way, and they need to be open to let's try it another way. Let's work towards being effective and efficient and standardizing process. And just because you did it that way, let's do continuous improvement, right? You got to get all the stakeholders in a room and preach to them about that. And I think it resonates with them when you start to talk with them.
They're very true. So, Dasha, do we have any other questions
No, we do not. I don't see any other questions.
so far? Good. So, to who will see us in YouTube, we will put the links to our partners' website, and we just recommend you to go and check and see and understand what we can do together for you guys. And I really glad that we bring this topic today. And thank you very much, Sharon, for your very, very interesting presentation about the experience. And the guys, you need to understand that implementing both software, it's a big project, huge project, maybe not for the 1 year, but constantly developing step by step digitalization, digital transformation of their business. It's a must have right now. So any other things, Sharon, you'd like to add?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you for allowing us to work together and present this for people out there wanting to understand ERPs at a high level and why Business Central and how DCP and RigER can help them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to starting a new project very, very soon, or working together, implementing RigER and Business Central for our clients. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a great, fantastic week.
You too. Bye for now.